everybody! Today in this episode, we're going to be putting wood over the cargo doors to help match the interior, make it look all pretty. Here we go!
So, in order to get an accurate measurement to put your wood on, you want to make sure to close the door so when you close it, it'll actually close and not hitting the wood. So we're going to go ahead and measure this now. Here we go. Okay, now that we got it to fit, the tricky part. See, okay, this is kind of the perfect size for it, and it won't hit against the metal here on the van. But what we got to do is cut a hole for the speaker in this. So we just got to measure and get that cut out. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the speaker out and attach it directly to the wood itself, just so it'll make it look even better. So we're going to go ahead and try to measure that out and get that hole cut. Here we go. Okay, so I just took off the speaker and then made a template of the actual size of the hole. So we're going to be really accurate now.
Hey guys, okay, the next step after we got everything all cut out is to prep everything for the staining and then polyurethane. So, in order to start, we're going to go ahead and use 120 grit sandpaper, and then we're going to use 220 grit sandpaper. So we're going to do 2 passes with the sandpaper to make everything all smooth and nice. Then after that, I'm going to show you the staining process. Here we go. Okay guys, we're going to be starting with the pre-stain. Now pre-stains are typically for wood that pits a lot, like pine. This is however oak plywood, so it doesn't really need it that much, but I'm going to go ahead and use it because I got it, so it'll actually absorb a little bit better when we put the stain on. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Alright, now that we got it all stained, we're going to let it dry overnight, and then tomorrow we're going to start the polyurethane. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Here we go.
Hey y'all, so instead of starting the polyurethane, I decided we're going to go ahead and cut out this wood covering piece because there's actually something else we have to do to the pieces before we can put them on, which I'll get to in a little bit later. Now, this one's going to be a little bit more difficult because as you can see, we got the door handle, we got the speaker, but down here you can't really see. I'll show you here in a second. There's a locking mechanism that actually can lock all the van. So we got to cut around all of those. So this is going to be a little bit more a tricky piece. So we're going to go ahead and do a time lapse of me getting all this measured and cut out. So here we go!
Okay guys, so we got it all cut out and it fits perfect. So we're going to do the exact same thing we did as yesterday, is go ahead and prep it. So again, we used 120 grit to start, and then we go and use 220 grit. We're going to go one pass with the 120 and then another pass with the 220. And we're going to do both sides of it, and then we're going to go ahead and pre-stain it and stain it just like we did yesterday. So here we go. Okay, so we let these dry overnight so they look all pretty now. What we're going to do next is going to go ahead and mark out where we're going to be putting the screws in, and we're also going to be putting in some pretty big holes for the rope because we're going to have rope so we can pull the door shut. So we're going to go ahead and mark these out and then pre-drill. Here we go. Okay, now that we've got everything all pre-drilled, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and sand these holes right here because this is where the rope's going to be going, and it's like, you know, after time it's going to be fraying, so we want these areas to be as smooth as possible so we're not going to, like, you know, fray and break the rope. So we're going to go ahead and take some just some 120 grit sandpaper and then do some 220 grit sandpaper just to make it super smooth so we're not going to have that problem. So here's a time lapse of me just sanding these real quick. Here we go. Okay, now that we got everything all pre-drilled and sanded back down, we're going to go ahead and pre-stain and stain it and then give it overnight to dry, and then tomorrow we're going to go ahead and polyurethane. So here we go. Hey guys, okay, today we're going to start polyurethane. Now we're going to be doing both sides and we're going to be doing 3 coats each. The reason we're doing an extra coat is because these are going to be more exposed to the elements since they're on the doors, so they'll be opening up, could be in the rain or whatever, and we don't want any moisture to get into the wood and cause like mold buildup or something like that. So we're going to be extra sure that these are all sealed up. So we're going to go ahead and start polyurethane right now. Here we go. Alright, it's been about 6 hours, which you typically need about 4 to 6 for these to dry. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and lightly sand it, and then we're going to put another coat on. You have to lightly sand in between the coats. So I'm using 220 grit sandpaper for this. So here we go. Guys, it's all dry, and now what we're going to do is going to go ahead and put the rope on. And this is going to be just kind of like to shut the doors with, just kind of this nice nylon braided rope. And so what we're going to do is put it through these holes that I made, tie a knot on each end, and then we're good to go. Then the next step is we're going to go ahead and screw them on. So here's a time lapse of me getting these ropes together and then putting the screws in. Here we go. Alright guys, this next part is optional. I'm going to go ahead and put some construction adhesive on the door and then the wood itself. This is just to make it extra secure. The reason you might not want to do this is if you have anything extra, like, you know, on the door itself, like anything wires or electronics or whatever, because it's like, this is not going to come off now. I mean, otherwise it'll be very, very hard to get it off. The reason I'm doing this is because I already cut the speaker hole, so I'll still have access to the speaker itself. So that's the only thing that's electronic over here. So I'll still have access to it, no problem. So this part's optional, but you know, just something to consider. So like, you can either be more secure or you can still have access to taking the wood off the door. So up to you, but this is what I'm gonna do. So here we go. Alright, now that we got it all screwed up there and glued up there, what we're going to do is go ahead and put the speakers back in. But this time we're going to go ahead and attach them directly to the wood rather than going through the metal and having it sunk in. That's the reason I kind of did it this way. So we're going to go ahead and first fill in with some insulation, then we're going to go ahead and put the speakers back on. Here we go. Okay guys, now that we got the rear cargo doors done, we're going to go ahead and do the side cargo doors. These ones are going to be a little bit more tricky because we got the upper portion because they don't have windows. So we're going to go ahead and give this a shot. Here we go! Okay guys, with this we're going to try something new. It's like, this was something I just saw one of those life hack videos, so what we're going to do is we're going to take some tape and we're going to put it on our mark, kind of right beside it. And I think you guys can see over here. It's like it's a little more roughed up. This is when I cut it last time. So, and we're trying not to rough up the edges as much, just so it doesn't chip or anything. So it just continually looks pretty. So with this technique, it keeps the wood down, so like it's not going to chip as you cut it. So we're going to give this a shot and see if it actually works. So here we go. Okay, so we got everything all cut out. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and run some lines down the back, just like we did for the walls, so we can bend the plywood a little bit, because it does curve a bit on the cargo doors. So we're going to go ahead and run those lines so we can bend the plywood, and then she should fit perfect. Here we go. Hey guys, I just want to give you a close-up of what I was doing here. So in case you haven't seen my wall video yet, I took the skill saw and ran lines down the back, and I took a little bit less than halfway on each of them. This is so we can bend the plywood in the way we want. Now, hang on, let me zoom out so you guys can see. Yeah, so I just took off basically the top layer of the plywood, so this top section where it begins to curve, it can bend a little bit easier than if it was just solid. So we're gonna go ahead and sand this all up and then pre-stain and stain it. We'll let it sit overnight, and tomorrow we're gonna go ahead and polyurethane her. So here we go.
Hey guys, so one thing that might help you out when you guys are doing this. Alright, I just made a minor mistake. Alright, now if you look right here, it's like, everything looks like it lines up really good, right? Well, if you come on, hang on a second. This side, the metal is thin right here, and that's where that corner piece is at right there. So I can't drill through here because it's just too thin. So I just gotta bring the screws in, just a few inches so like it'll have enough room. But so yeah, keep that in mind when you guys are doing this, just how thick the metal is on the other side of the door. So just a minor mistake, easy fix. I'm just gonna use a plug cutter and fill these in with wooden plugs. But yeah, just something to look out for. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this up now. Here we go. Okay guys, for this next bit, it's going to be a little tricky because I can screw in to this section right here, but I pretty much got nothing else to screw into. So what we're going to do is we're going to improvise a little bit and take some wood and go ahead and put it up here, kind of glue it up there so we have something to screw to. And then we'll put these next few pieces up. So next up, we're going to go ahead and get some wood and glue it up there. Here we go.
Hey guys, okay, so before we put on the supports, what we gotta do is finish these pieces, get the last 2 coats of polyurethane on them, so we can use them to see if we got the angle right before we put the supports on, because we don't want to get the wrong angle and have it look all jagged and weird. So we're gonna get these coats of polyurethane done, and then we're gonna do something else. Here we go. Okay guys, so what we're going to do while we're waiting for the polyurethane to dry on the last few pieces is we're going to go ahead and fill in the screw holes with the plug cutter. The plug cutter cuts out wooden plugs that go into the screw holes. So we're going to go ahead and cut a whole bunch of those out and then put them into the door walls. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Here we go. Hey guys, I just want to give you a close-up of what a plug cutter looks like. This is a plug cutter right here. Now, typically you want to use these with like a drill press, but they also make them in speed bits. Drill press is better because it's like more accurate and you don't have to kill yourself pushing the whole time, but this is what I can afford right now, and you can pick them up at Lowe's pretty cheap. So now we're going to go ahead and put the plugs we just cut out into the wall. Here we go. Okay guys, what you want to do to set these up right is take your end and cover it with some wood glue. Just kind of cover the tip. There we go. And then just put it in one of the screw holes. So go ahead. And then just go ahead and get a rubber mallet and then hit it in there a little bit tighter. Okay, and that's how you do it, and then you let it dry. Want to clean off the excess glue. And after it dries, then we hit it off with the chisel, and it should be pretty flush. And then afterwards, we're going to go ahead and sand it and then stain it to kind of match the wood itself so it looks a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Here we go.
looking pretty. Next, we're gonna wire this puppy up. Oh yeah! See y'all next time.